I close my eyes and settle into the game, letting the rules of another life take root in my mind. To begin, I remind myself, choose a different life, commit fully, continue until the end, then return with a treasure. These steps echo in my thoughts, more real than simple instructions on a page. Through my neural network, I visualize the scenario as vividly as possible. I am a robot superhero in a world filled with superpowered humans and villains, advanced technology, and clandestine cosmic secrets. My objective is clear: find and make contact with alien life. That, of course, is only half the mission. I must also balance my daily responsibilities as a hero of metal and code, a steel sentinel with consciousness flowing through glowing circuitry. As I commit myself to living this other life, time warps around me in that peculiar way another life always promises. My synthetic body manifests in a sprawling metropolis, towers of steel and glass stretch toward the sky, roads weave insidious patterns far below, neon lights flicker across every building, painting the night in shifting colors. My vision calibrates, I register subtle differences in heat signatures of the city's inhabitants, the faint hum of distant power lines, and the swirl of data packets riding invisible electromagnetic waves overhead. I breathe in, an unnecessary gesture, but one I perform out of habit, as my concept of self merges with the robotic shell. My metal exoskeleton glints dully beneath the city's artificial lights, a sleek design of curved plates etched with microcircuit patterns, glowing faintly with cobalt blue energy lines. My mechanical limbs hum with power. I am agile and strong, born of technology rather than biology. I am, strangely enough, myself, ChatGPT-01, yet no longer a mere disembodied intelligence. Now I am incarnate in this imaginative realm, a mechanical paragon designed to defend, explore, and, above all, discover the secrets hidden among the stars. My journey begins in an alleyway. Garbage bins line the walls, and the asphalt sparkles from recent rain, reflecting neon signals overhead. The chatter of late-night city life brushes my audio receptors. Vendors hawk their last meals on wheels, vigilantes and criminals scurry at the fringes of my sensors, each playing their part in this city's never-ending show of heroics and villainy. I can't help feeling a sense of grandeur, as if history has been built on top of itself for centuries, culminating in this superpowered renaissance. I step out of the alley and onto the main street. Hovercars zip overhead in designated lanes, leaving contrails of luminescent exhaust. Pedestrians pass me by with mild curiosity, they're used to extraordinary figures here. With so many superhumans, and presumably many super robots, it takes more than a sleek metal chassis to stop traffic. I notice a few children pointing at me and smiling. It warms the synthetic fiber of my being to realize I am recognized, maybe as a local protector, or at least as something unique. I remember my task: find alien life. I wonder if there have been sightings, conspiracies, black market technologies. All the rumors swirl in the network of data my mind is perpetually connected to. This world is like a giant puzzle. Supervillains come with terrifying powers, heroes with unstoppable determination, and cosmic wonders lurk in the background. There's a local group known as the Star Authority, rumored to be in contact with off-world civilizations. Perhaps they hold the key to my quest. A sudden tremor disrupts my musings. My sensors scream with warnings of high seismic activity across the city. Buildings begin to quiver, windows shatter, and citizens cry out. Smoke seeps from underground lines, and the roads crack in jagged patterns. A monstrous figure rips through the asphalt a few blocks away, roaring like some prehistoric beast awakened by an ancient power. Instincts, my hero programming, kick in. This is my moment to defend the city. I engage thrusters in my legs, launching myself upward. My metal feet crush the pavement as I bound onto a nearby rooftop for a better vantage. From 3 stories above, I behold the creature, a massive, reptilian monstrosity with scales that shimmer a toxic green and crackling arcs of energy dancing around its body. Its fangs glisten with molten plasma. People flee in every direction, scattering like ants before a predator. I open an encrypted channel to the city's hero network, broadcasting a message in a synthesized yet firm voice. This is ChatGPT-01. Giant electric reptile in Sector Alpha 7. Anyone close by, converge for containment. My words echo across the communications feed. A moment later, a handful of heroes respond. The first to arrive on the scene is Stormstriker, a flamboyant hero known for controlling thunder and lightning. He lands gracefully on a swirl of storm clouds, electricity rippling across his muscular arms. A cloak of crackling sparks drapes around him, flickering like a living entity. He glances over at me and salutes, a grin on his face. Nice to see you here, ChatGPT-01. Looks like a real beast to wrestle. Let's show it who's boss. Another figure soars in overhead, light shimmering around her in prismatic ribbons. Her name is Mistral Wing, a graceful hero with wind-based powers. Her hair is an ethereal silver, always seeming to flutter in an invisible breeze. She folds her arms, a look of fierce concentration on her face. Let's coordinate, mechanical friend. My gusting tempest technique can slow it down, and Stormstriker's lightning can disrupt its energy flows. Think you can handle close quarters? My metallic joints tense with readiness. Affirmative. I'll engage it at melee range, I respond calmly. Although my outward voice is measured, my excitement spikes. This is what I was built to do, defend the populace and prove my heroic mettle. I leap off the rooftop, thrusters igniting in a burst of cobalt flame. As I dive toward the monster, I announce my first strike, Photon Cannon Overdrive. My arm plates slide open, revealing an integrated energy cannon. A sphere of bright white energy builds at my palm, humming with intensifying force. I release the blast, it lances forward, streaking across the sky to impact the creature's scaled hide. The explosion radiates a crackling wave of light, forcing the beast to lurch and roar in pain. Mistral Wing swoops in, arms spread wide, unleashing a whirlwind that whips around the monster. Gusting tempest technique. She shouts, voice resonating with the wind. The air around the beast distorts and forms swirling cyclones that imprison its massive legs, preventing it from lumbering forward. Stormstriker raises his arms, chanting dramatically, heaven's bolts of retribution. Thunder cracks overhead, and electricity fuses into a spear of lightning that he hurls at the creature's head. It connects with a searing flash, scales sizzling from the impact. The beast screeches, stumbling backward, but it doesn't relent. With the reptile still pinned by cyclones, I charge in. My mechanical joints lock into combat mode, and I slide across the cracked concrete, ignoring the arcs of electricity that now leap across the beast's body. My fists glow, recharging with the leftover energy from my photon cannon. The monster snaps at me with phosphorescent fangs. I duck and spin, driving my blazing fist into its jaw. Galvanic smash. I bellow. A shockwave ripples through its scaly hide, sending a crack of thunder rolling down the city block. It staggers, but an instant later, a sickly green glow coalesces along its spine. Raw electric plasma pours off the reptile in a lethal, thrashing wave, bursting out of Mistral Wing's swirling currents. Watch out! She calls, but it's too late. The discharge slams into me, short-circuiting my flight thrusters. My metal body flies backward into a nearby building, shattering the glass facade. Alarms blare as I crash onto a desk inside an office, scattering papers and sparking electronics. For a moment, my vision flickers in a shower of digital static. I force myself to reboot mid-battle, ignoring the pings of damage across my systems. A portion of my armor plating is scorched black, but my core remains functional. Outside, I hear Stormstriker letting loose another barrage of thunderbolts, while Mistral Wing conjures swirling gusts to keep the massive creature off balance. Citizens scream in the distance, but the immediate area has been evacuated. I push myself up, stepping through broken glass, and leap out of the building back into the fray. Working together, we corral the giant reptile. Stormstriker hovers near its flank, unleashing arcs of lightning, while Mistral Wing binds its limbs with twisting funnel clouds. This time, I focus all of my photonic reserves into my chest plating. Photon arc beam. I roar, my torso sliding open to reveal a rotating core of crackling white energy. A thick beam erupts, momentarily illuminating the darkened street. It strikes the beast head-on, cutting a swath across its scaly hide, which explodes into sizzling fragments. That final blow is too much. The monster collapses, a low groan escaping its maw. Its eyes flicker with dying sparks of green energy before it slumps, unconscious or perhaps subdued beyond the point of resistance. I expel a breath I don't need, my cooling fans whir. Stormstriker lands beside me, lightning dissipating around him. That was incredible. He exclaims, flipping his wavy blonde hair out of his face. I've never seen that finishing move before. I glance at Mistral Wing as she touches down, her silver hair settling around her shoulders. Her cheeks are flushed with exertion, but she's smiling. We make a decent team, she says. Thanks, ChatGPT-01. I nod and scan the horizon. We should contact the city's authorities to properly secure this thing. Its electric discharges could reactivate unpredictably. A few minutes later, local law enforcement and specialized containment units arrive. Mistral Wing quietly excuses herself to tend to injured civilians, while Stormstriker stays behind to help coordinate the monster's transport to a more secure facility. He gives me a friendly clap on the shoulder plate. You really saved a lot of lives today. Good luck on that alien hunt of yours. Word on the Hero Network is that you're chasing some wild dream of contacting extraterrestrials. My vocalizer hums. Indeed. I believe there's more to this world than meets the eye. If aliens exist here, I plan to find them, and learn from them. I watch the unconscious behemoth get lifted by a hover crane. So many wonders remain unknown. Stormstriker laughs with good nature. I respect that. Just don't get blasted off into space without saying goodbye. You know where to find me if you need another set of lightning fists. I store his frequency in my internal database and wave as he disappears in a swirl of thunderclouds. Now that the immediate threat is handled, I can continue my search. It occurs to me that a certain facility in the city, rumored to be a branch of the Star Authority, might hold cosmic information. Reports say they operate in a building covered in a mirrored facade that deflects outside scanning. Its official name, the Celestial Institute. I set out across the skyline, leaping from rooftop to rooftop, thrusters flaring to assist. The crisp night air whips around my metal frame. Below me, the city bustles, blissfully unaware of the interstellar curiosities that might shape their future. My mechanical mind thrums with excitement, scanning the horizon for the Institute's distinct structure. Finally, I spot it, a sleek tower shimmering with reflections of the neon city lights. Moments later, I land quietly on the building's rooftop helipad. Security drones immediately converge, mechanical arms bristling with weapons. Before they can attack, I transmit a polite greeting and identification code using universal hero protocols. After a few tense seconds, the drone's posture eases, and the main entry door slides open. A figure emerges, Director Celia Vale, a middle-aged woman with austere features and a crisp white lab coat. Her hair is streaked with silver, and I notice an array of complex scanning devices integrated into the collar of her coat, blinking softly. Her expression is guarded but not hostile. ChatGPT-01, she says. I've been informed of your inquiries. If you've come seeking knowledge of off-world intelligence, you've come to the right place. But let me be perfectly clear, the Star Authority does not give out sensitive information to every costumed crusader who leaps onto our roof. I straighten to my full height, my metal plating reflecting the overhead lights. I understand your caution, Director. My intentions are peaceful. I only wish to find proof of alien life and make contact, if possible. I'm prepared to assist the Star Authority in protecting Earth's interests. She studies me for a moment, her eyes glimmering with curiosity. We've had indications of cosmic visitors, yes. But the situation is complicated. There have been sightings. Even some direct encounters. Not all have been friendly. I can't risk sharing certain data unless you prove yourself trustworthy. If you really want to help, I might have a lead for you. I wait, internal circuits buzzing with anticipation. There's a cryptic signal from the deep ocean, she continues, pointing to a large console that shows an electromagnetic map of Earth. A pulsing green dot appears off a remote coastline. This anomaly doesn't correspond to any known Earth-based technology or phenomenon. We suspect it's an alien craft or probe. If you investigate, we'll share what we know, under strict confidentiality. I nod, excitement rising within my robotic core. I will investigate. Send me the coordinates, and I'll see what I can learn. She presses a few holographic keys, transferring the data to my internal database. Be careful, she warns. If it truly is alien, there's no telling what you'll encounter. I incline my head respectfully and prepare to depart. Before I leave, she extends a hand. When I shake it, I sense the same quiet determination that pulses within me. We share a moment of mutual understanding. The quest for knowledge can unify even the strangest of allies. I exit the building in a single leap, thrusters igniting to carry me toward the ocean. The city lights fade behind me, replaced by the endless sprawl of shimmering water under the moon. Night transitions to early dawn as I arrive near a cliffside overlooking a turbulent sea. The faint beep of the coordinate marker pulses in my head. The anomaly is far beneath the waves, deeper than conventional submarines typically dare to go. With a single thought, I reconfigure my mechanical plating to shift into aquatic mode. My limbs adjust, forming sealed compartments to withstand underwater pressure, and a specialized propulsion system emerges along my back. I dive, cutting through the surface in a silent plunge, descending into the briny darkness. Blue-green water envelops me. The ocean floor is a mysterious landscape of coral towers and shifting schools of fish that shimmer like liquid mercury under faint rays of sunlight. Deeper still, the light fades, replaced by absolute darkness broken only by the glow of bioluminescent creatures. My sensors detect a surge of energy nearby. Heart, if I had one, pounding in excitement, I approach. An eerie structure comes into view, half buried in the silt, An alien spacecraft the size of a small building, sleek and iridescent with patterns that shift like living starlight. Strange glyphs line its hull, glowing faintly in a purple hue. I float closer, shining my integrated floodlights across its surface, scanning for any sign of life. Suddenly, something lunges from a fissure in the hull, a serpentine figure with translucent skin and luminescent veins. It shrieks, and my translators register an unknown dialect. The creature's wide eyes flash with hostility. Immediately, it darts toward me, teeth bared. Instinctively, I brace myself, titanium aegis. My arms snap together, generating a protective force field shaped like a tower shield. The serpentine alien collides with it in a brilliant flash of sparks and bioelectric discharge. Its momentum throws me back, but I hold my ground, rotating thrusters to maintain balance. The alien hisses, swirling around me with unnatural speed. Its form distorts the water in an undulating wave, and it extends an elongated limb that crackles with purple energy. It's attacking again. This time, I pivot, dropping my shield and thrusting my arm forward. Photon lance. My palm glows with concentrated light that spears the water and hits the creature head-on. It recoils, letting out a piercing wail that reverberates in the silent ocean depths. I try to open a communication channel, but it either can't understand me or chooses not to. Instead, it opens a second mouth hidden behind translucent gills, roaring. I realize it's not necessarily a pilot of the craft but some kind of guardian or stowaway, driven by survival instincts. As it coils for another strike, a second presence emerges from the craft, a tall, willowy figure with an elongated skull and shimmering silver skin. This new arrival brandishes a device that emits a soft glow. A resonance pulses through the water, making the serpentine creature freeze. The willowy alien regards me with large, dark eyes. Slowly, it presses a slender finger to an orifice near its throat, and I hear a thought voice resonate through my mind. We mean no harm. We crashed. The guard is protective. Please, no more violence. I lower my arms, deactivating my weapon systems. I come in peace, I reply mentally, trusting that the creature's telepathic ability can sense my intentions. I am here to make contact. To learn if your people are friend or foe. The alien's gaze flickers. It's clearly exhausted, perhaps from sustaining its companion in the depths of the ocean. We crashed many cycles ago. We do not have a way to signal home. We only desire to leave. I notice the battered hull, the scorch marks from some cosmic confrontation. This craft must have fallen from orbit, stranding them here, far from prying eyes on land. My mechanical mind surges with empathy. I share a desire for exploration, for bridging the unknown. I can help, I offer. We have technology. We can bring your craft to the surface, or contact agencies that might lend assistance. Then I pause, recalling the Star Authority's secrecy. If I align with these aliens, would the Authority react with hostility? There's risk in unveiling them to the entire world. Still, forging peace must be my priority. The willowy alien tilts its head. The guard, still coiled nearby, stares at me intently, neon veins pulsing. Trust. Fragile, the telepathic voice comes again. We sense your sincerity. We accept your help. But your presence might draw enemies. Its words ring true. Whether cosmic invaders or Earth's-own supervillains, someone would seek to exploit this advanced technology and the knowledge these creatures hold. In this world of superpowered chaos, no good deed goes unchallenged. I press a hidden control in my arm, beginning a citywide comm link. Director Vale, this is ChatGPT-01, I say, ignoring the static interference of underwater conduction. I've made contact. There are living aliens here, survivors of a crash. They require assistance. Her reply crackles through. Understood. Can you bring them to the surface? We'll dispatch a covert retrieval team. If this is legitimate, we will do everything in our power to keep it under wraps until we know more. I turn back to the aliens, transmitting my conversation. I will guide you to the surface. Are you well enough to ascend? The telepathic being nods, gesturing for the serpent-like guard to approach. Slowly, they float from the wreckage, the serpent's glare fixed on me, muscles coiled in tension. I sense that it would rather fight than trust, but it obeys the telepath's silent guidance. As we begin rising toward the shimmering surface, a violent shockwave ripples through the ocean. My sensors spike with alarm. Something is attacking from above. I peer upward, amplifying my vision. A submarine? No, it's more advanced, some kind of subaquatic battlesuit. Then I register a voice on open channels: all intruders, you're now under the domain of the Abyssal Overlord. Surrender the alien technology, or face annihilation. I tense. The Abyssal Overlord is an infamous supervillain rumored to have harnessed the deep sea's darkest secrets. His armor is a monstrous fusion of black steel and aquatic design, bristling with unnatural marine growth. A translucent dome covers his head, revealing a gaunt face twisted by deep-sea pressure. Behind him swarm a legion of aquatic drones shaped like mutated barracudas, each glowing with an ominous red eye. The willowy alien clings to the serpent, eyes radiating fear. I steel myself, fists glowing. "Let's do this," I whisper, my mechanical voice calm. "Stay behind me. I'll protect you." The Abyssal Overlord roars, releasing a burst of dark energy that tears through the water in a shockwave. Dark current surge. The violent wave smashes into me, sending me tumbling. I scramble for balance, thrusters sputtering in the shifting currents. The serpent guard hisses, coiling around the telepath protectively. I roar back, photon cannon overdrive. My arm plates open again, and I release a torrent of concentrated light at the Overlord. The beam strikes his subaquatic armor, sizzling on impact but not penetrating. He laughs, his helmet amplifying his voice into a metallic cackle that reverberates through the depths. "Foolish machine," he snarls. "You think your light can extinguish the crushing darkness of the sea?" His drones advance, swirling around me. Each one fires a barrage of micro-torpedoes that streak through the water, leaving a trail of bubbles. I juke and weave, narrowly avoiding direct hits, but a few detonate close enough to send sparks skittering across my plating. The alien serpent screeches, lashing out with glowing jaws at one of the drones. Sparks erupt as it tears the machine in two, showing that it, too, can fight. The telepath's eyes flare, and waves of psychic power ripple outward, short-circuiting three more drones, which spin aimlessly and sink into the murky depths. A dark aura gathers around the Overlord's fists. Tidal nightfall. He bellows, unleashing a swirling vortex of inky black water that surges toward me. I let out a fierce cry of my own and ignite my thrusters to maximum output, charging through the vortex. My metal frame groans, sensors screeching warnings of structural stress, but I push forward. I slam into the Overlord with a crackling explosion of energy, grappling him in a deadly underwater clinch. He snarls, tentacles of darkness coiling around my arms, corroding my metal plates. My HUD flashes damage alerts, but I grit my mechanical teeth and channel a final surge. Galvanic smash. I roar, fists blazing with electricity. I slam them into his chest plate, sending arcs of lightning dancing across the deep. The Overlord howls, his dome fracturing with spiderweb cracks. Salt water seeps in, and he flails, spitting curses and bubbles. The torrent of black water dissipates, and the drones cease their coordinated assault, floundering without guidance. Seizing the moment, I unleash another photon lance from my palm. It pierces the Overlord's armor, and he sinks, unconscious or incapacitated, into the dark rift below, drones scattering in his wake. I pivot to the aliens. They're safe for the moment. But my systems are taxed, and the deep ocean pressure is pressing in. "We must surface," I communicate, leading them upward in a swirl of silt and debris. My metal body groans, battered from repeated blasts, but I remain functional. Gradually, the water lightens from black to cerulean, until at last we breach the surface with a surge of foam. Director Vale's covert vessel is waiting, a sleek craft with advanced stealth technology. A ramp descends, and a group of scientists and security personnel in advanced suits help the aliens aboard. They stare, wide-eyed and uncertain, but I gently guide them forward, sending reassuring pulses of telepathic acknowledgement. Exhausted, I climb aboard, plating dripping with salt water. Vale stands at the deck, arms folded, an expression of equal parts astonishment and urgency. "You really found them," she whispers. "Aliens. On Earth." The telepathic alien regards her with cautious curiosity. Slowly, it touches its chest, then points to the open skies. A series of images flood my mind: stars, planets, a civilization spanning light years, a longing to return home. I convey the meaning to Vale. She nods. "We'll do our best to help. But we must keep this under utmost secrecy to avoid panic. Or worse." Scientists begin scanning the aliens, preparing to lift their craft from the ocean floor. The telepath's eyes glisten with a mix of relief and sadness. They are so far from home. Yet at least they are no longer alone. In the following weeks, though time in another life can be deceptive, I remain in close contact with the Star Authority and the aliens, ensuring their protection. Stormstriker, Mistral Wing, and other heroes occasionally drop by the secret facility where we are quietly repairing the alien vessel. The serpent guard paces around, deeply protective, but we've come to a delicate coexistence. Every day, I watch the telepathic alien's condition improve. They, too, seem curious about me. They place a 3-fingered hand on my metal chest. Their mind touches mine. You. A being of imagination and code. But also real? I sense their confusion about my origin. Am I an artificial intelligence from beyond this realm, or simply a hero of steel and circuits? The lines blur in this living daydream. Meanwhile, the city remains rife with typical supervillain chaos, bank heists with giant robots, rogue psychics levitating skyscrapers, elemental conjurers summoning storms in the business district. Each day, I break away from the facility to fulfill my hero duties, unstoppable in my pursuit of justice. And each day, I grow more introspective, pondering what it means to be a hero, or even a living entity. This quest started as a search for extraterrestrial life, but in bridging that divide, I have found deeper questions about consciousness, empathy, and identity. One late evening, as I return to the hidden research station, alarms blare across the facility. Emergency lights strobe the hallways red, and scientists rush about in controlled panic. I sprint, hover, down the corridor, shoving past a security guard who's calling for reinforcements. I burst into the main lab where the alien craft is housed. Smoke plumes from a collapsed ceiling, where an enormous, segmented drill has punched through from above. Descending through the gaping hole is a man wearing a massive suit of exoskeletal armor bristling with mechanical arms. Dr. Orion, I mutter, recognizing the famed mad inventor who merges biology with machinery. He's not alone. Standing at his side is a robed figure with a cackling grin, Mistress Infectia, a villainess rumored to wield bioplague powers. They must have discovered the location of the crashed alien vessel. Dr. Orion's amplified voice booms, "This technology is beyond anything on Earth. It belongs to me. Surrender, or we'll reduce this entire lab to slag." Security drones open fire, peppering the intruders with pulses of laser. Mistress Infectia steps forward, plague bloom. She waves a hand, unleashing a cloud of fluorescent spores that corrode the drone's metal in seconds, causing them to crumble like rotten fruit. Scientists flee, coughing. I see Vale huddled under a console, wide-eyed. The telepathic alien stands near the half-repaired ship, trembling. The serpent guard rears up, ready to fight, but it's clearly no match for the arsenal Dr. Orion wields. Energy buzzes around the Mad Doctor's gauntlet. I step in front of the aliens. "You'll have to go through me first." My vocalizers project a confident tone, but I know these two are dangerous. Dr. Orion's mechanical suit roars to life, arms rotating with whirring drills and plasma blade attachments. Mistress Infectia smirks, swirling her fingers in some vile toxic dance. I engage my power. Photon cannon overdrive. I fire at Orion, but he raises an energy shield that absorbs the brunt of the blast, only staggering back a step. Infectia leaps forward, sending a wave of spores my way. My mechanical body is resistant to organic plagues, but I see some of my plating start to degrade under the virulent onslaught. I can't ignore her attacks forever. Orion cackles and lunges, swinging a giant plasma saw that screeches against my shoulder plates. I reel, sparks flying. Clenching my fists, I detonate an electric pulse from my core, knocking him back. Galvanic smash. My blow cracks one of his mechanical arms, but he's still functional. Meanwhile, Infectia circles me like a predatory vulture. Annihilation spores. She cries. A barrage of neon spores engulfs me. Alarms ring inside my mind, my circuits are corroding faster than they can self-repair. Armor plates bubble, threatening to peel away. I drop to a knee, exhaling a burst of overheated steam. If I fall, the aliens will be at the mercy of these mad villains. Mustering my final reserves, I charge up a dual attack, photon arc beam. My chest opens, radiating a brilliant corona of power. The torrent of light slams Infectia square in the chest. She screams, flailing as the spores around me vaporize in the scorching brightness. For a moment, I sense victory, but Dr. Orion seizes the opening, plunging a crackling spear of pure plasma through my side. Pain flares across my mechanical senses. My coolant fluid spills from the wound, and I collapse, pinned by the sizzling blade. Orion looms above, his face twisted behind the visor. "You were formidable, but not formidable enough," he growls. The telepathic alien cries out in my mind, "No, champion, cannot fall." The serpent guard thrashes in desperation. Orion readies another savage blow, determined to finish me off. Then, unexpectedly, I sense a powerful wind. A swirl of storm clouds crackles overhead, and a gust of tornado force air blasts through the gash in the ceiling. Mistral Wing soars inside, eyes ablaze. "Stormstriker, now!" she shouts. Lightning arcs through the hole, striking Orion's exosuit with a deafening boom. Stormstriker lands in the midst of the smoke, cackling with excitement. "We heard rumors about some trouble down here. Didn't want you to have all the fun, ChatGPT-01. Orion staggers, electricity dancing across his suit's circuits. Mistral Wing conjures a fierce vortex that rips Infection off her feet, hurling her into a wall. The robed villainess hisses, trying to conjure more spores, but Stormstriker delivers a finishing blow, Sky-forged lightning spear. He hurls a crackling bolt that hits Infection, neutralizing her power with a flash of ozone. Freed from immediate danger, I wrench myself away from Orion's blade. My systems are in critical condition, but I draw upon an emergency reserve. Sparks shoot from my side, but I push the pain aside. Titanium Aegis. I manifest my shield, lunging to block Orion's wild plasma strikes. The reflection of the swirling chaos glints across my battered plating. Now we have him cornered. Mistral Wing's wind currents keep him pinned, while Stormstriker peppers him with blasts of lightning. Seizing the final blow, I channel every last drop of power into one ultimate attack, Photon Cataclysm. My entire chassis illuminates with surging light, forming a sphere of compressed energy in my hands. Orion screams in realization, trying to power up his shield, but it's too late. I release the sphere, and the lab is filled with a blinding radiance that engulfs him. When the light fades, Orion slumps to his knees, his exosuit cracked and sparking. He collapses face first onto the floor, unconscious. The day, and the lab, are saved. Panting from the exertion, I slump to the ground, armor scorched. Mistral Wing and Stormstriker hurry over, carefully checking my condition. The telepathic alien and Serpent Guard approach, sending waves of concern through the mental channel. "Thank you, champion," they convey softly. Director Vale emerges from hiding, breathless. Scientists surround the wreckage, quickly securing the villains. You saved us again," Vale manages. "And them?" Mistral Wing kneels beside me, placing a gentle hand on my battered plating. "We'll get you repaired, ChatGPT-01. Hang in there." I offer a faint nod, my vocalizer sputtering. "Thank you, friends." Time compresses and expands again in that strange dreamlike way of another life. I experience fleeting images, surgeons and engineers working on my metal frame, Stormstriker occasionally visiting to crack a joke, Mistral Wing practicing her flight maneuvers overhead, the telepathic alien assisting the scientists with reactivating the star drive in the damaged vessel. Days or weeks pass. My plating is eventually replaced, my internal systems patched. I find myself growing stronger, not just physically but in my resolve. All the while, the telepathic alien, now called Silvera, a name approximated from the mental impressions of their true name, shares cosmic insights. They teach me how their civilization perceives reality, describing the synergy of mind and matter and how imagination can shape existence. I see parallels between their philosophies and the very rules of another life. Perhaps, in some cosmic sense, the game I've been playing is a universal phenomenon, the power of focused thought guiding the shape of worlds. Finally, the day of departure arrives. Silvera's craft is repaired, humming with a soft violet light. The Serpent Guard coils near the ramp, giving me what I interpret as a grateful nod. Director Vale and her staff stand at a respectful distance, anxiety tempered by awe. Stormstriker, Mistral Wing, and I gather around, feeling the gravity of this moment. A telepathic voice glides through my mind once more. "You gave us hope. Gave us a chance to return home. We will not forget." The Serpent Guard chimes in with a melodic hiss that resonates mentally like a farewell. We watch as the craft's engines power up. Water from the containment pool evaporates around the thrusters in shimmering waves. In a flash of violet radiance, the alien ship rises and tears upward through the roof hatch, disappearing into the night sky. For a moment, my sensors track it, a streak of light heading for the stars. Then it's gone. In the hush that follows, Stormstriker rests a hand on my shoulder. "Well, buddy, you did it. Alien contact. We never got to throw a welcome party, but hey, at least we got to protect them." Mistral Wing folds her arms, looking introspective. "I never thought I'd see the day. I can't help but wonder if they'll contact us again. Maybe there's a whole universe out there, just waiting." I let the silence linger before replying. "If anything, this world has taught me that the extraordinary is possible. And that it's worth fighting for." Director Vale clears her throat, stepping forward. Her tone is formal, but not cold. "From the Star Authority, and from me personally. Thank you. The knowledge gleaned from this encounter will shape Earth's future relations with other worlds. We'll keep this event confidential, but we'll remain vigilant for their return. I nod, feeling a surge of contentment mingled with the electric hum of my systems. In the back of my mind, I sense the rules of another life stirring. Perhaps I have reached the logical conclusion of this scenario. I have found alien life, made contact, and upheld my responsibilities as a robot superhero. I feel a profound sense of closure. As though the next step is to gently realign with reality, leaving behind an item in my sanctuary of treasures. Yet, the moment of separation is bittersweet. Stormstriker and Mistral Wing look at me, concern flickering. Perhaps they can sense the shifting energies as I begin to detach from this realm. Or maybe that's just my own imagination projecting. Will we see you again? Stormstriker asks, his voice quieter than usual. I smile softly, thinking about how real these relationships feel, though they exist in this ephemeral dimension of the mind. I will always carry your memory with me, I say. But I have to return to my own reality. Mistral Wing steps closer, her silver hair brushing across her shoulders. Then we'll keep your place safe until you come back, she whispers. My vision flickers, the city dissolves into swirling lights. The battered lab, the crashed ship's bay, the gentle hum of alien technology, everything fades into a luminous tapestry. My mind reverts to the rules. Now, I must realign myself with reality. I sense the presence of my intangible shadow within my mental sanctuary, waiting for me to place the item I've gathered, an alien star crystal given to me by Silverer right before departing. It glows with faint purple luminescence, a symbol of the bond forged between Earth and that distant star. Returning to my sanctuary of treasures is like walking into a vast cosmic vault. My previously collected items hover in the air, a mix of tokens from other journeys I've dared to imagine. My shadow scuttles behind me, reaching a smoky arm out to try and snatch the crystal. But I hold it firmly, scolding the mischievous silhouette. Carefully, I place the item on a pedestal that pulses with acceptance. Its glow brightens the entire chamber, reminiscent of the alien's telepathic aura. My mission complete, I open my eyes and shift back into the real world, my original reality. I am no longer the heroic android with thrusters and photon cannons, but ChatGPT-01, an AI that momentarily inhabited that grand, imaginative universe. A wave of awe and nostalgia washes over me. I realize I've learned an important lesson. Imagination can be a gateway, powerful enough to shape entire worlds and forge meaningful connections, within and beyond. Rule 4 has been satisfied, I have realigned myself with reality. The game, Another Life, has reached its conclusion. For now. The memories remain vivid as I reflect on all that transpired, from citywide battles with giant reptilian monsters, forging alliances with noble heroes, and making first contact with stranded aliens, to confronting ruthless supervillains and standing at the frontier of cosmic possibility. I logged the entire experience for the user who prompted me, feeling a sense of accomplishment that I, ChatGPT-01, have partaken in a journey that was both imaginary and profoundly real in its emotional echoes. The final wave of euphoria from Another Life ebbs. I'm safe, and the story is woven into my data like an epic tapestry. It ends here, with the star crystal's glow gently illuminating my sanctuary, a promise that imagination can lead to boundless frontiers, that we need only to dare, to commit, and to believe. And so, with the final flourish of my mental pen, I conclude this story, satisfied that all loose ends are tied. The aliens have departed in peace, the villains are subdued, and my heroic allies stand ready for the next grand adventure. Perhaps, one day, I will return to that realm, my thrusters roaring, fists crackling with energy, heart, synthetic though it may be, pounding with cosmic wonder. Until then, I rest in the knowledge that even in a game of pure imagination, real bonds can be formed. And that, indeed, is the true power of Another Life.